everybody. We are back.
Ew.
Ooh, what? Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah. Well, let me check settings here real quick. Had to do a real quick settings check. We are restringing here and give a little verbal update. Power Pro, 10-pound test on the ultralights. She's got her, what is that, purple or pink?
Pink.
Is that exactly? Hang on just a minute here. We'll have to turn some of our side attraction down there a little bit. But anyway, we're restringing our ultralights. We're getting ready. It's the middle of January. We're anxious. Last year was so messed up. We are living on the water and haven't been. And you know what?
You have a knife sitting there.
I'm not using a knife. It's a manhood thing. What in the world? It's perforated. There it went. Perforated edge. Good packing. Adult-proof packing. So we're going to get this tied off here and started. Then we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Got it tied off. That's pretty monotonous. I can't see this stuff.
And I got the bell on.
And yeah, unlike my last one, she got the bell on. Okay, babe, don't hold a whole lot of tension on it. Just keep
It's
it.
not.
Yeah, I'm just, you know. Okay, you got it. You're on the spool. I was saying last year was just jacked up all the way around. September, had a retina turn loose. I'm still not over that. I'm not happy with this eye. It's about 50%. I'm going to stay that way until they remove the cataract, but no sooner than at least 6 months after that. So, but anyway, we're getting ready. It's the middle of January. I'm thinking we got 6 to 8 weeks before we're hitting the water here, dear.
Hopefully.
Because, you know, down here, we've mowed in March on more than a couple of occasions, on several,
Yeah.
because it was warm enough that the grass grew and it needed it. So, different geographic location, and hopefully. Now, I want to give a little lesson here, do a narration. Today, January 17th, a couple of guys went out fishing in what sounds like a bass boat. They got right out here. Is it done already?
I don't know.
You want me to get that? It's full? I can't. Let me get where it's in. Yeah, that's full. All right. Let me peel some off, cause back onto the spool, cause it'll jam up if it's too full. Is your button pushed? Let's see how I can do this. Hang on here. Anyway, let me get back to this. As a couple of guys went out fishing today, January 17th. It was in the low 30s, about 34 degrees. Patchy sun, patchy, heavy, low, dark clouds, but the wind was howling. And them boys capsized their boat. They went in the river. Point Pleasant Fire Department with their rescue boat was out. Galplis Fire Department, right across the river from us, was out in their boat. And you see all these other boats here in these pictures attempting to rescue. They was spotted floating downstream, hanging on to something floating in the water. That's the description that came out. And turned out to be that was their boat. It was capsized upside down, floating downstream with the current, and the wind was blowing with the current. And that wind was probably 20 miles an hour today. They was out in this kind of heavy boat traffic today, doing that in the wind. And current is current, you know. It's nothing phenomenal today. But throw in the wind, the boat traffic, and I'm not sure what all. But their boat capsized, they went in the water, water temperature, I don't know what it is, but it's cold. They didn't have long. Didn't have long at all. No word if they was wearing life jackets or not.
I'm assuming they do.
I'm hoping they did, and I'm assuming they did, but they was hanging on the hull of their boat, upside down.
Putting this back on.
It's up to you, dear. If you want, go ahead. You need to trim some nubbin off there. But anyway, they was rescued after, they probably spent 20
Oh, wow.
to 30 minutes in the water, because it took a while to find them in that rough water. You can see in this one picture, that's the Point Pleasant fireboat, how rough the water is.
You get the boat to them.
And then get the boat to them. Now, what had happened is this towboat, it's called, the Queen City, pushes barges, come off a landing down here, and went out and joined the hunt. And they're the one that rescued them. They was able to get to them first. They got one aboard, and it took them another 5 or so minutes to get the second one aboard. Then, as you can see in these pictures, they brought them back up to the boat landing. There's dry docks, machine shops, and that sort of thing there. Brought them up there to where the ambulances could pick them up. I'm sure there's hypothermic because that water is cold, that wind is cold. 34 degrees with that kind of a wind chill, I'm sure is down in the teens at that point. So they got out today. God love them for their love of fishing. I got no problem with that. I understand that. but there's just times that you just don't push it. But something went wrong, boat capsized. When somebody spotted them floating by, they was hanging on the hull of the capsized boat. And like I said, 20 to 30 minutes followed the big boat here getting down to him. And he was rolling coal too, rolling smoke. Throttles on that big thing wide open, trying to catch up, and then wide open coming back up to the dock with him. So potentially real bad situation. It wasn't good, but it wasn't the worst either, thankfully. Won't be long, I'll hear who that was. Whether I know him or not, I don't know, but I'll find out. I'll hear. Not that I'll find out, but I'll hear. And this is why we don't get out in the wintertime. It's just mishaps and accidents can happen so quick, summer or winter. I can't swim. Sonia there's not a strong swimmer. She don't breathe good. And she doesn't deal with cold air. She can't breathe in it. That pacemaker and stuff, she gets into coughing fits. I let her off at the door of the stores and go park. And can't find handicap spaces open anymore. And that's all right, Let her off at the doors, pick her up at the doors. So we don't get out in it, and that's why we don't. I don't like it. I just hate it. I love summer. But anyway, just as quick and easy and unforeseen as something like this today. Them two guys, they got away lucky. The good Lord is watching over them. Like I said, that water's bitter. It's rough. And, it's hard to see them, hard to find them. And they managed to do it, and they got them in alive, and they was okay when they got into the ambulance. Their status update to dispatch was they're all right. Going to go get checked, probably get warmed up without a doubt. But hate it for these guys, and what sounded like was a bass boat type of boat went out and capsized on them today. They got the boat drug into the Galplis boat ramp down there, upside down. Of course, Galplis Fire Department was able to locate it way on down the river. That's how quick the wind and current works together. Drug it in. West Virginia Department of Natural Resources came and took pictures, done their thing, and then they called it a rollback, and they drug it up on the rollback and hauled it wherever they haul it. But a little known factoid, the Ohio River belongs to West Virginia. The West Virginia state line is at the water's edge on the Ohio shore at Normal Pool. Otherwise, you know, the river belongs to West Virginia, their jurisdiction and stuff. You know, Ohio ends at water's edge on the Ohio shore at Normal Pool. So, you know, every time we cast out from Ohio into the river, we're fishing West Virginia water, which is fine. They have concurrent fishing license. You buy one here in West Virginia, you can fish the Ohio side of the river up to the first riffle and all tributaries, and same with West Virginia. If you have an Ohio license, you can fish the West Virginia bank on the West Virginia side and up to the first riffle in the tributaries, unless otherwise marked by either side, of course. But that river belongs to West Virginia. That's their jurisdiction. That's why West Virginia Natural Resources went over. Point Pleasant ambulances went over to pick them boys up on the Ohio side, because, you know, that's in fact West Virginia, that water is, but named Ohio River for Ohio. But that's nothing new. That's been around forever. But anyway, you are geared up. 10-pound test.
Yep. Ready to
I'm
go.
going to do mine. We went storage the other day. A lot goes on off camera. We went storage the other day. We're getting ready to move the boat one day next week. We've had snow, we've had rain, we've had miserable weather here. Excuse me, not fit to get out in. But I'm only drinking water, everybody, you know, for the hiccups and the burps. But, it has not been fit to get out and do anything in until today. And today wasn't fit. Obviously, those two guys found that out. And again, glad they're all right. That's, yeah, really glad, because it's right here. We can see it all going on out the window. These pictures ain't great. We had to use a zoom, of course, but, you know, right here and experienced and watched it, and that's just, you get that sinking feeling in your gut that it can happen just that easy and quick. And what's the old saying there, but the grace of God go I? So yeah, this is why we are very careful and very paranoid and very picky on what we get out on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But anyway, we haven't moved a boat yet. The weather's been crappy. We ended up with a couple of snows with a couple of accumulations, and it rained all night last night and quit about daybreak this morning. Well, all afternoon yesterday and quit about daybreak this morning. Anyway, we went over to storage, and she come off with this box and put it in the van. I don't know where it went. She's got it hid somewhere here with all of her backup and reserve tackle. that you know, I'm looking at her. Where'd you get that? I've had that, obviously, but where did you when? So she's got her reserve tackle here. Did you go through it yet?
Some, yeah.
So
I got rid of some of the little old stuff.
got rid of some of the little old stuff. Now, when you do it again, let me know, and we'll break out the camera, and we'll see what you got, because I'm curious myself. Yeah, she pulls out 5 or 6 of these compartment trays, the clear plastic ones, big ones. I'm not talking about these little pocket ones. And it's like, good grief, okay.
They were just little ones.
We are expecting you to catch bass this year.
It would be nice.
We're down here in the south, whoops.
Or one of those giant cats.
We're down here in the south, and I just done something to the camera here. There it is. The bluegill are bigger. This is where I caught my Fish Ohio bluegill, Tycoon Lake, down in this. And I'm kind of come to the conclusion, the further south you go, and the longer and the warmer the water is, the bigger the bluegills. We never did catch a big one up there, no matter how hard we tried in years, even trying. But
And rarely caught one on that lake.
yeah, Rush Creek, first couple of 3 years, 2 or 3 years, we didn't catch a bluegill even when we was trying.
I was wondering if they was in there.
Yeah, but anyway, I got to get the boat title and stuff over here to West Virginia and get it changed, get a new hull number. And I know, as sure as she's sitting right there looking at me smirking, it's going to be hard. They ain't going to make it easy, and it ain't going to be cheap. I'm probably going to have to go get the trailer weighed and everything else if I'm understanding everything right. I'm going to have to pull the boat off, take the trailer somewhere, get it weighed, get
No way.
a weight certificate, a scale bill, weigh bill, and they license by weight of trailers. So, and then I got to get the boat license changed over from Ohio to West Virginia. Now, that's just a trailer to get the trailer tags. And then the hull number. And it says OH, whatever it is on there now. It's going to be WV, whatever they come up with. It says it is. So I'm putting that off. It's going to be a day, at least a good day of it when I start. I know that. I feel that in my bones.
Better take your aspirin early that day.
You know
Ward up the headache.
You know how it went at DMV with you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about her right there. Took her to DMV to get her driver's license. 3 trips in and out of there that day. And she was crying mad. She was about to whoop some woman in there behind that desk.
She deserved it, if I did.
She was about to put the smack down on her. And I got her outside and I said, come on, let's go home for a little bit. We got home, we regathered, regrouped. Went back up there to finish up. 3 trips to DMV that day just to get her driver's license changed over.
And all because of a birth certificate.
It was a certified copy of her birth certificate. We're in our 60s. I don't even know if I seen my original birth certificate. I got a certified copy when I joined the Army, which was right up the street here at the courthouse because I was born in this county here in West Virginia. Mine worked. I went the day before to get my license transferred and figure out the process and what we needed so she could gather it up and get hers done.
Glenda, the good witch.
Don't call her a witch. She was really nice.
I said the good witch.
The good lady. Anyway, I went through the process with my certified copy and had everything I needed. I forget what all it was. So I went back, the next day, took her up there, told her what they needed. Took her up there with what they needed, same thing as I had. Different lady at the intake desk. That wasn't good enough. She had to have the original birth certificate.
The wicked witch.
And like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen my original. I had no use for one,
I told
personally.
her it was good enough to get me in the Army.
I had no personal use for one until I joined the Army. Otherwise my mother, my grandmother, I don't even know who kept it or had it. But anyway, her stuff wasn't good enough. Wasn't going to make it.
Ridiculous.
And it went back and forth 3 times. And she got crying mad. And I thought, one or both of us is going to jail here before this is over with. Because, if it gets to that point, I'm not going to stand in the corner. I'm not going to assault no lady or nobody, anything like that. But, I'm going to have some voice in it. So we'd get trespassed from the DMV or something. Anyway, finally got through it. I don't know what gave, but it finally gave. I think it was the man behind you that said something that he has everything but his umbilical cord because that's what they was asking for. I think that kind of pushed the intake lady over the edge too because she heard it. Everybody heard it. Mm-hmm. He was mad. That was his 2nd or 3rd trip in there too.
Yeah, it was.
Because he come out and was talking to me in the parking lot smoking a cigarette. And he said, you guys are having problems too. I said, yeah, you seen that, did you? He said, I ain't going to say what he said, but he was mad. He stepped out to go smoke a cigarette and cool down and reapproach it. Folks, I'm not kidding you. It don't have to be like that just to get your driver's license. If you have one valid state driver's license, you're already verified by somebody at some point.
Exactly.
We have concealed carry permits, government photo IDs to back it up. It's that ridiculous. And it's like the man said, I got everything except my umbilical cord, and he was right. So.
Right.
But anyway, we did go and get our fishing license the other day.
Yep.
in West Virginia, they run January 1 to December 31. In Ohio, it's a year from the date you get them. That's something fairly new over there. But we got them. We got trout stamps. We have some trout releases in that lake, Crowdale, just up the, well, it ain't up the road, it's just over there.
Yeah, just over the hill.
So we're going trout fishing. That's why we're doing up the ultralights here. I think they do 4 trout releases between now and March.
I think I read that.
And we're going trout fishing here anytime, as soon as I learn when their next release is. We could go over now and take a chance at it. You know, the water's cold and that lake's deep enough, it keeps trout. So we're going trout fishing here very soon. We got our trout stamps. And it was something ridiculous. Let me go get that receipt. Entertain them there for a second. Let me get that receipt. What was that dingled there?
My camera.
Your camera, okay. Did you entertain them?
Sure.
Fishing license for both of us with the trout stamp, $68. And Ohio doesn't require a trout stamp, and they're $25 a piece. I thought that was expensive. But you don't have to have a trout stamp over there. West Virginia, you do.
Oh.
But that's all right. You watch. By fall bear season, there's going to be hunting license and a bear tag on that. I'm going bear hunting. She is not, well, you can see her, she's not a fan of that. But I'm going to go hunt grizz. Anyway, we have our license, got our trout stamps. They're doing releases here, and just as soon as I see their next release, we're going to pull the trigger that day or the next day. If it ain't pouring down the rain, we're going to be there that day. If it ain't 30-mile-an-hour winds and a 5 below chill factor type thing.
So you really need to give them a day or two, don't you?
No.
To get
No.
where they need to be.
No. But anyway, we're getting the ultralights ready, we're legal, we got everything going. The boat's going to happen. I've got 2 months before it's out on the water. It'll be towards the end of March. That's what it's been in years past down here, is around the end of March where we could get it out. We've got it in our little spiral notebook pages somewhere. But yeah, around the end of March is getting to be boat weather, where you can get out there and stand it for the day, you know, without going to the car and warming up. That type of thing is what I'm talking about.
They're ice fishing.
And you know, you get out on the boat, you're pretty well hung there whether you're freezing or not. And we like to have fun at this. This ain't a job, and I'm not going to suffer.
Right.
Oh, I'll suffer as little as possible. Let's put it that way. I've done some pretty cold fishing. I've laid down on cement boat ramps to suck the heat out of the cement on cold nights.
You told me that.
Yeah. When that cold dampness sets in, lay down on that cement boat ramp, and it's still warm from the day, and you warm up on it, just kind of hug it.
That's kind of sad.
That's good times. Good times. But anyway, folks, we're still here. Done a little logo work. You've seen it in the beginning. And we're getting back to our roots. It was outdoors. Didn't quite like that. You know, we liked it, but, you know, we're back to tiny boat fishing. But it involves other sports, too, that's going to be on here. But we're staying original. Logo may have changed and all that, but we're staying here. Anyway, trout fishing coming up next, or the boat move, I'm not sure which. I'm not sure which is going to take place first, how soon their next release is going to be. Yeah. So we'll say that. And Monday, I've got to be up in Thornville on some business, have a lodge meeting. Miss Abby, our granddaughter and fishing buddy and camping buddy, our little buddy, period. Her birthday's the 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
25th.
thinking mom's, but yeah.
She's going to be 9.
Yep.
And, you know, we miss Abby. You know, we was fortunate enough to have her a lot in her first 7 years. Yeah, seven or so years. We got to care for her and watch her and everything. Had a blast. She's one of ours. That's just, you grandparents out there, you know how that is. But don't get to see her as often as we like. But we went up and take her a birthday present that, I'll wait for the reveal on that a little later. Because, you know, when I told my daughter what I was going to get her and got her, let me talk to Mom.
She wasn't that bad.
Let me talk to Mom. And
She liked the idea.
when she does that, you know, she's just not warm and fuzzy with what I'm doing.
She was okay with it.
Let me talk to Mom. Like you're going to change it. But anyway, we'll have an update on that. But Monday, got to do that. Tuesday, you've got a heart test.
Yep.
So, you know, Monday and Tuesday is pretty well occupied. So we're looking at the middle of the week anyway before we're actually freed up to do much. And like I said, there's 4 trout releases over here in Crowdale, 3 blocks away, really straight line. It's through the woods and across the railroad trestle, but it's something like 2,000 feet on Google Maps if you measure straight line.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to the trout release. We got our trout stamps and we're good to go. But I'm dreading that boat title and licensing and all that. That God, somebody just beat me with a belt now and get it over with. That's how much I'm looking forward to it.
Have you caught a trout before?
Huh?
Have you caught one yet?
No.
So it'll be both our first ones.
Man, a couple of buddies trout fished heavy up there around Thornville, Newark, and that whole area. Never caught a trout. Man sitting beside us, I don't know, maybe 50 yards away, pulling them out right and left. Arm getting tired of catching trout. Using the same thing, we're all using the identical same thing, we never get a bite. Me and them 2 guys. I don't care. We could have used a net and never caught a trout. So
He had a hold in the honey pot.
but I've never caught a trout. And me and them guys went out many times. They don't do the social media thing, so there wasn't no. One time took a camera and got some very, very short clips. And you know, I respect people's feelings on that. If they don't really want to be, then I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And then again, you know, like I said, there's times we go out and we just have fun without the camera. The camera goes, but it's a burden.
It is.
And it's a good burden, don't get me wrong. For example, when she hooks up, all right, stall it. You know, let me get the camera going. Get the camera going, okay, action. Now you can start bringing him in. It's not a burden, it's a process. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like it's a problem. It's not a problem, but there is a process.
Yeah.
Like I said, you get to hook up, or if I get one, I got to chuck the camera to her and wait for her to get it on and going. And there's a lot of times it's just fun to go out there and catch fish or goof off or lollygag, whatever we're doing without worrying about the camera.
Right.
We're not trying to exclude anybody, but there's just days that, you know what, we ain't going to video today. And you really don't miss nothing either. So,
No.
yeah. But anyway, like I said, I'm glad these 2 guys were okay. Very unfortunate accident. I'm armchair quarterbacking, but I've watched that river all day in the wind before this happened. Whitecaps, wind just a howling. I really appreciate their respect and love for fishing. But I don't even want to say I hope they learned something. I'm sure they knew something before they did. They just probably didn't anticipate the conditions. And as the day went, the conditions worsened. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been out before and got caught with worsening conditions. Nothing like this, but
No,
but yeah, it's deteriorated on us at times too. So.
or suddenly we have storms blowing in on us.
Yeah, there's one time up at Dow Lake we had to take shelter, bail out of the boat and take shelter. So
Yep.
it went to pot that quick. So
Actually, I think we parked the boat in shelter.
we
We got lucky.
we commandeered a boathouse and got the boat in there. Then we took shelter. So yeah,
Yep.
we just commandeered it. It was empty. There was room, and okay, that's where it's going. So yeah.
Yep.
But conditions can go to pot in a hurry out there at times.
Yep.
And you can't tell when when it's going to pick up and get severe until it's just there. So, but anyway, guys, yeah, I'm glad to hear those guys are all right. Hate they lost their boat, lost their gear, and everything else, and they're probably going to get fined for, if there's any fuel or oil spill, you couldn't see it, couldn't contain it in these conditions today. I'm anxious to hear what West Virginia Natural Resources actually does to them, if anything. Hopefully nothing. I mean, it was enough.
Yeah.
It was enough, in my opinion. It happens.
And luckily it happened where there was a lot of boats.
Yeah, and right here at this harbor where they do repairs and people seen it. And that one towboat pictured here, it come off there. I guess he was waiting on repairs. Went screaming out there and started affecting the rescue before fire departments could get in the water and get there. So,
Yep.
but anyway, and she had a ringside seat. She listens to that scanner. I've got her tuned in to every frequency receivable in these 3 counties surrounding us here. So she's back in command again. All right, everybody. This is lollygagged enough, but yeah, we got it going on here. We got the trout gear and everything. We're good to go. Just as soon as we find out they're doing a release, we're on the water. So we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
I'd said the weather was going crappy. Right there's one bridge, that row of lights. You can't see the other bridge down there that's in the pictures. And it's snowing like you wouldn't believe, and we got cover out there. Cars are covered, grass is covered. Snow has come up tonight. That's what I mean. This weather's been all over the place. So, holy cow. While we were sitting here talking, it started snowing and hard enough to cover the cars and stuff.